Judge Knick-Knack is on the bench, and she's ready to tell it like it is. In this courtroom, motions are denied, feelings are dismissed, and no one's safe. Each week, Judge Knick-Knack examines the hot topics and delivers a no-holds-barred ruling. All rise. Court is now in session.
I have thoughts, great thoughts, the greatest thoughts actually, really great thoughts. Have you heard of BBC? You know I love BBC. Love BBC. Barack's big cock. Love it. I saw there was a channel called BBC, so I tell my people to put it on, and they're British people talking. That's false advertising. You know, false advertising is bad. I never false advertise. How can you have BBC in the title and not show Barack's big cock? I have to call King Charles because he can't advertise BBC and not show it. I mean, you have to show it. Can't not show it.
Crackers.
If they're having fun and they're in the sun, who we gonna call?
The Mad Crackers.
When they're in their car and we don't know who they are, who we gonna call?
The Mad Crackers.
If they're on the grill or they look to chill, who we gonna call?
The Mad Crackers.
They're black and proud, we're white and loud, who we gonna call?
The Mad Crackers.
The Mad Crackers.
Minding everything but our fucking business.
Welcome to Fat on Fat Crime. Let's get ready to humble.
Did you know that Paramount Plus is going to have the BET Awards? What the fuck is this world coming to? When I turn on to Paramount Plus, I expect to see like Dutton Ranch and Yellowstone and like CSI, not the BET Awards.
Fuck BET. What is your A1C? Cause the way you EAT, you about to be DEAD. I know some shit you really don't want to see. A toothbrush, you halitosis having asshole. Soap and water, cause I know you smell like barf and bologna. Your feet, cause you can't fucking walk. You been on that couch since birth. If that motherfucker ain't on his last leg, that bitch is an amputee. The only way you getting off that motherfucker is dropping hook. I know your bed sores look like bullet wounds. You fuck food so much your face is pregnant. Your third trimester chin having asshole. You look like Peter Griffin if he was special needs. Everything about you is delayed except your appetite. Fuck Instacart. A bitch need a CDL deliver your grocery order. That's long haul freight. Fucking 60-year-old virgin. You got the fucking nerve, the fatdacity, the unmitigated motherfucking gall to be butt ugly and racist. Pick a stroker, you Elmer Fudd face motherfucker. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Court of No Appeals. I am your host, Judge Knick-Knack. I hope you guys had a wonderful week. This episode, we got a lot. Today, I wanted to discuss religious psychosis in the Black community because it is a problem. Now, I will say this before I get started. Welcome everyone out there and welcome everyone in the chat. So let's see, who do we have today? We have Denzel, Mallory, Big Roki, Brian, and Light Mocha. So shout out to everybody in the chat and everybody out there that's watching. I am streaming on my network, which is stream.knickknackproduction.com. Also on the FTP YouTube, which is For the People podcast show. and my own YouTube, a Knickknack production. So thank you to everyone that's watching. Shout out to Decade Spawn and Kaz, my name, for joining us. So as I said, I want to talk about religious psychosis. So our Rise Court is now in session. I didn't want to forget to do that. Now, I will say this. I do know that I have older people that do follow me. So I'm going to tell you right now as a warning. If you are overtly religious, okay? If you're watching me on TV, turn the fucking channel. Scroll up, block a bitch. This is not going to be the episode for you because you are going to be very, very upset. Okay. If you're sensitive about this shit, keep it moving because you already know I mean what I say and I say what I mean. Now, with and I want to say this. I do believe in God. Do I believe in silk pressed Jesus? No. I believe in nigga Jesus. Now, if me saying nigga Jesus offends you, again, turn the fucking channel, okay? This won't be the episode for you. Now, I do have faith. I do believe in a higher power. I absolutely do. I think that everything happens for a reason. And, it's not sometimes we'll know in that moment what that reason is. Other times, we won't. It's been situations where it'll be days, months, years, decades even before you realize, oh wait, that happened. This is why that happened, or things of that nature. That's how I see it. I think everything happens at the exact moment it's supposed to, not a second before or a second after. It happens when it happens. There's a reason for it, and I do have faith. But I also question things as well because as a human, that is what we're supposed to do. I don't believe in silk pressed Jesus. Okay. I'm not, I don't, a white man is not having, ain't none of this is happening. Okay. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in the Bible. I don't. The Bible is a book of stories that can be used for inspiration. But the Bible, like any form of entertainment, is subjective. Two people can read the same Bible verse, and I can think it means something. Someone else can think it means something else to them. No definitive person can say this is exactly what it is. And also, the Bible was written where modern convenience was not in mind. They never thought that the things that we have today would exist. So it's one of those things where you can say it didn't age well. Because even I come from a family that we went to church, out Sunday school. I had to go to Sunday school. I didn't sing, but I had to be a part of the choir. Went on, Bible study. We went on Sundays, day and evening service. So, my parents, my mother and grandmother, I had to go. It was forced upon me. They weren't overtly religious, but that's just the tradition that we partook in. And I vividly remember sitting there and looking at the Bible and wondering, like, you know what, this is a big game of telephone because how do I know that this is true? How do I know that this has happened? This book, this word has been translated in various languages. And again, things lose translation because there are certain words in the English language that don't exist in Hebrew or don't exist in all other languages. There's no word for it. It doesn't automatically translate. And I also question things like, okay, well, if this is God and he's over everything, then why are there mistakes? Or why do bad things happen? And this not even bringing, as I got older, the aspect of slavery and then learning where white Christianity stemmed from. And so my question too, and this again, this is conversation for black people. If you're not black, you can watch the shit, but I'm black and I'm talking to black people. So feel about that however the fuck you like. But when you have that, what I would like, and if there are any, overtly Christian people, in the chat, feel free to, pop up. Um, but my question first and foremost would be logically, and white people are the oppressors of black people. Let's be clear about that. Feel how you want to feel, but that is the truth. Given white supremacy, a whole system designed to ensure that we don't succeed. Nobody else succeeds but them. So, given the fact that white people forced Christianity upon slaves, how can you, as the oppressed, believe in the same God as your oppressor? How can you have an oppressor that tells you that the God that they believe in, that they want you to believe in, is okay with them harming you? And how are you going to ask that same God to free you from the oppressor that's using that same God to oppress? It doesn't make sense. If you sat down and thought about that, it doesn't make sense. There's no way that you can do that. Or how people cherry pick verses in the Bible. Am I versed in the Bible? No, I'm not. Because again, I don't need a book to tell me how to live my life. I don't need a book to tell me to be nice to people and they'll be nice to me. I don't need a book to tell me don't steal or, don't cheat. I don't need it to teach me morals. These are things that you're supposed to learn throughout life. Now, does the Bible serve a purpose again for inspirational stories? Yes, my mom would tell me the story of Job. The 23rd Psalm is my favorite verse, probably because that's the one that I know, but that was my dad's favorite, and so it's mine. But you have to question things. And if you think about white Christianity and how it has a hold on the black community, it does need to be studied because think about it, you have white pastors and black pastors, right? With this Christian nationalist situation. Christian nationalists are supposed to believe the same thing black people believe, if black Christians believe, yet they hate your fucking guts. So how y'all praying to the same God when their God tells you that you shouldn't even fucking be here? And then you use that. And I think what black people do, again, there's a lot of white supremacy in the black community disguised as tradition, and religion is the number one white supremacist tool in the black community that's in disguise as tradition because we just believe what we believe. It ties into everything, especially black love, right? Because black people feel like if you haven't struggled, you don't deserve shit. That the only way you could have something good come to you is if you struggle for it, which is why most men, black men, treat black women like shit because of your ability to persevere through it. Let them put you through as much pain as possible. And if you persevere through it, then that means you're finally the one when they decide that you are. As black people, the majority of us don't believe that we are worthy of something that we didn't have to suffer to get. We don't believe it if it's entirely too easy. And yes, it's just some shit that's too good to be true. And if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. But it could be basic shit that black people will struggle through because you think God is just going to get you out of it. Now there's a difference between having faith and just sitting there waiting on somebody just to do some shit. And I'll give an example. I'm not working right now. My husband works and he works very hard. But again, that's one income in an economy where two incomes are required. So while my husband goes out and works his ass off every week on that road, not being home, being away from his wife to provide for his family, it's still hard with one income versus two. And I always say, hey, I have faith and there's always going to be a way. There's me still doing things. I'm doing this show, I'm doing that. But hey, whether it be y'all donating to the show, donating to the network, donating to me personally, that helps us. That has made a way. But I'm not just sitting here. I'm still looking for work. I'm doing shows. I'm creating entertainment. I'm creating art. You all see that I'm doing those things. And therefore, you donate to me because you know that helps me do the things that I do. That's a form of being blessed. I am blessed with the community that is you all, my audience. Y'all are a community that I built post by post, brick by brick. And I am grateful for the community that I have in this audience. Each and every single one of you, not even monetary, just sharing my work. putting somebody on to me, saying, hey, watch her. She's good. She has something to say. That is a blessing. You all bless me so that I can one day be in a position to bless somebody else. That's what this is about. That's spiritual. That is a blessing. This is not me sitting here saying, hey, God is going to make a way and I'm just going to sit here and not do anything. And that's what a lot of people do. You use this religion as a means to either judge other people or sit on your ass. But it can't be that way. There's a story where somebody said, let's say there was a disaster, right? Drowning, all that. There was say a tsunami or something, right? So there's this person, they believe in God. God sends a helicopter. They come try to help. No, I'm waiting on God. God sends a boat. No, I'm waiting on God. God sends something else to come. No, I'm waiting on God. The person drowns, gets to heaven, and say, God, why didn't you save me? God says, I sent you a boat. I sent you a helicopter. I sent somebody else to help. You're waiting on this being. And again, I get it. I have a higher faith too. But God sends you help in various ways. And you decide whether or not you're going to ignore that. One thing that that kind of bothers me, and I've said it in jest when I say God told me, because you have some things where you be like, something in you is telling you that. But I think a lot of y'all take the God told me thing a little too far for my liking. Like you use it, and again, I don't have a problem with Christianity. My problem is how you niggas weaponize Christianity. Because that's what you do. You weaponize Christianity. You don't believe in it how it's meant to be believed in. You weaponize it for your own agenda. And that don't make you no different than these white folks. Because they weaponize Christianity to get a hold of you niggas. And you niggas are weaponizing it to keep hold over other niggas. And I see somebody in the chat where it said, I would love to meet more black people that are atheists. Now, again, I do believe in God. I believe in nigga Jesus. Okay, say skin of bronze, hair wool. So how you turn somebody's skin of bronze, hair wool into a white motherfucker with a silk press, I'll never understand. And you niggas went along with it. Y'all all in the book saying, oh, you quick to say Leviticus this says this about gay people, and this verse says this about cheating, and it says this about this and that. But y'all can't reconcile that the book says skin of bronze, hair of wool, but you got a white motherfucker, a picture, a portrait of a white motherfucker with a silk press. And that's who you praying to. But don't y'all go by y'all book? Then you get up here and you make people feel bad for not sending y'all money or not giving God money. Now, as a person, again, I grew up in the church. I grew up like I would tithe. When I got paid, I would see my mom do it. And it got to the point where, okay, you asking for money for the church once, okay. But when we doing 2 and 3 offerings, and then you get into the point where you making other people feel bad, that's not the purpose of church. The purpose of church is to be a sanctuary, a safe haven for people, whether they got money or they don't, primarily for the people that don't. And you motherfuckers, if somebody came to your church right now and said, hey, I'm on the verge of eviction. My baby needs milk. I don't have food in my house. You niggas will go look at your roll and see how much did they donate. Do they even go to your church when it shouldn't even fucking matter? Because think about it like this. If the church is God's house, God is only one person, right? Well, I guess 3 people. If you the Son, is Father, Spirit, there's 3 different things, whatever. 3 niggas in one, okay? He can only have one house. So all these churches are what? Because he's one man and he can technically only have one house. But yet he got all of these places. And you're supposed to be operating on his behalf. But you're not operating on his behalf, because when people come to you in need, the first thing you're looking to see is how have they helped you. That's not the goal here. That's not the purpose. That's not what it's about. It's about helping. God didn't walk around, to my understanding, in the book that y'all love to quote. I don't believe he walked around keeping tabs on shit of the people that he helped. Oh, well, I did this for you. I did this. He just did it and went the fuck on about his business. But y'all can't do that. So you're not even acting in quote unquote good faith. Now, this is not saying bad of every church, because there are some churches, big or small, mostly small, that do operate in the word of God. They serve everyone that comes there, gay, straight, trans, bi, non-binary, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself. It don't matter. You get to come in there and you get help, whatever that help may be. You might need counseling, you might need food, you might need clothing, you might need shelter, you might need whatever it is you need. And you have people that are like that. So now I want to go into my first video because I got several videos I want to play for y'all. So let's go into the first video and I'll be right back.
Autism is because of sin. And I need you all to stick with me until the end. See, your children not talking, people who are deaf, that anxiety, depression, ADHD, your bad attitude, and your complaining, it's all because of sin. It's the sin that entered this world when Adam and Eve disobeyed God. And see, I am convinced of this. People who believe that God created them with autism or any sickness, disease, or disorder, they don't truly know God. Because if they knew him and his nature, his love for all humanity, it would never come from their lips.
Okay, now that was the first video. Now, this right here is what I'm talking about, right? So if you're deaf or you have autism or you have something that's considered an affliction, it's because of sin. So you have this bitch right here that's talking. She's wearing glasses. You got a fucking astigmatism. What sin did your mama commit? Looking at your daddy's dick while she was sucking it? Is that the sin she committed? You mean to tell me somebody who is born deaf is because of sin? Whose fucking sin? Because children come into the world clean. Isn't that what y'all say? Children come into the world clean. So what sin did their parent commit for them to be fucking deaf? This shit don't make no fucking sense. This is when you go into the whole God doesn't make mistakes. Okay, so if God doesn't make mistakes, if somebody is born gay, then therefore by your logic, it's not a mistake. So which the fuck one is it? Because it's a lot of contradictory shit going on here. Which is why I say you pick and choose the shit you want to say to fit your narrative. So anybody that is struggling with any type of sickness is because of sin. But don't we come into the world clean and the world fucks us up? Now, this is another thing. What I suggest is that all the Christians, all you black Christians that are just so you're on it. You on one. Okay? You're doing your big fucking biblical. What I suggest is that y'all, you know that movie The Village where they was living in 1800s or what the fuck ever? Go live by exactly what's in that fucking book. No modern convenience whatsoever. No microwave, no electricity, no cell phone, nothing. Live your life like that fucking Old Testament. That is exactly what y'all should do, because you can't sit up here and use modern convenience and cite a fucking book that didn't have that come into fucking play. You're straddling both. You can't be talking about shit is of the world when you're living in the fucking world. Of course shit is going to be of the world. You living in this motherfucker. Is it sin when you sitting up here in central fucking AC? Is it sin when you watching certain movies? When you listening to certain things? Is it sin when you sit up here paying a fucking pastor that's fucking his congregation? If somebody has autism, that is clearly I don't know if they call it, if it's correct to call it a disease, but it is something that can be diagnosed. Just like a person is if a person is diabetic, what sin did they fucking commit? Gluttony, bitch. It's skinny people that's fucking diabetics. So what the fuck is the sin, the corresponding sin to somebody having an affliction? So that's to say that if you don't have any, if something is wrong with you, then that's due to sin. Whose sin? Your parents? Is it a lineage of fucking sin? None of this shit makes sense. Nothing that y'all, this shit right here doesn't make any sense. It comes autism, it comes from sin. What fucking sin? That's the part that I need y'all to explain. What is the sin that causes that? If a baby is born with an illness, what is the sin that was committed by the fucking parent? Because then if they decide to terminate the pregnancy, now that's a sin the parent committed, right? So which one is it? Bring the baby here afflicted, or do you get rid of it? Everything y'all do be some walking contradictory ass shit. Now let's go to the comments before, because I have, like I said, I have a few more videos that I want to play for you all. So Regina says the Ethiopian Bible is the true Bible of African descendants. That is possible. Again, the books, I don't go with it. D Musical Daisy says, be quiet in the darn creek when it comes to help certain people. Exactly. Jersey Rome says, I question things, but I do believe in God and pray to Jesus, but definitely not silk press. Exactly. I again, I have a higher power, God in the universe. I'm very spiritual. I don't necessarily like organized religion. Growing up in organized religion, I don't particularly like it. Does that say I'll never walk into a church again? No. It's been plenty of times I'll go to church. I've been to church, listen to the word. The sermon is great. Then we get to the gay people and they just fuck it up. Because now we get to the whole, I used to sell drugs. I used to be on drugs. I used to beat women. I used to be a hoe. I used to run the streets. I used to do, oh, but then if you're gay, that's just the one that not even God himself can forgive. That's when I check the fuck out. Because you can be every other form of sin, but that one. But I thought a sin is a sin is a sin. So not one sin is greater than the other. Now, are the repercussions of said sins different? Yes. Cheating on your husband is a sin. Murder is a sin. But you ain't going to jail for fucking around. You're going to jail for killing somebody. So even though a sin is a sin is a sin, depending upon said sin, whichever one you choose to commit, it's repercussions for that, and they're not all the fucking same. Because trust me, if motherfuckers could die for committing adultery, it'll be a lot more faithful ass niggas out there. Like Mocha says, I was there in 2022. Those churches wouldn't even talk to me since I wasn't a member. There you go. Trey Trey Rich Live. He stayed Trey. He says 3 niggas in one is crazy. It is, you know how I am. Regina says my church helps members and non-members and also has a pantry outside the church to help people. Exactly. That is what it's supposed to be about. Community. Church is supposed to be about community. D Music says I used to be a church secretary and churches don't pay taxes. We talked about that yesterday on FTP. If churches pay taxes, you would see a lot less bullshit. Churches are a business, but they don't get taxed like one. If they started getting taxed, you see a lot of a difference in how they act. Sorry about that. Jersey says I joined the church that makes me feel uncomfortable during given time. And now Jersey, I've heard you say that several times. And again, I'm not going to obviously, tell you what to do, with your faith. But if you're in a place that makes you feel uncomfortable, then that's not the place for you. You can worship. Me personally, I talk to God whenever I feel the need to, wherever I am. You don't have to be on your knees. You can just talk to God, have a relationship with God, because that is your relationship with God is your relationship with God. It's nobody else's business. It's not for you to convince other people to be like you or think what you think or feel what you feel. Those are your feelings. So if you are in a place that makes you feel uncomfortable with that, then I would look for other churches or, have church at home. Turn it on the TV, because hey, you in your house, you ain't got to give nothing if you don't feel comfortable with it, or you give what you give, and that's it. But you should always be in a place that you are comfortable. So that would be my advice. If that's a big thing to you, and clearly it is, I would examine why you're still there, and if there's another way for you to still fill yourself with the spirit and get the nurturing and the comfort and stuff that you need, minus the money. Because that too, it becomes uncomfortable when you got all these different, you got tithes, and you got regular offering, then if somebody is there, you got to give a love offering, and it's the building. It's like sometimes you just, it's a whole thing to collect money, and then you're looked weird at if you don't do it. People are trying to survive. People can't pay rent. People are using Klarna and Afterpay and all other paying for options for groceries and basic needs. If Jesus is so everything you say he is, if Silk Press Jesus is everything you say he is, why is the world the way that it is now? And when you ask that question, these Christians don't seem to have an answer. Can't answer that simple, logical question, but they'll beat around the bush with everything the fuck else but the actual answer. Big Rocky says, my pastor took down the pic of white Jesus. The Ethiopian Bible is the true Bible because King James is missing books. But I will have to look into that. I have to ask my husband because he knows the Bible. He grew up a church boy, so he knows that inside out. So I have to ask him about that. So that might be a Partners in Petty episode, a continuation of this one. On the Cosmic Blue Autistic says, no, fuck that. Oh, Regis hubby is home. Yes. Let's see. I don't know who's a nutcase. Wait. Brian says that video is something else. Rachel says, hey, Nikki, definitely don't agree with that. So yeah, it's very like these videos, and I'm going to show you, and trust me, they're going to get even wilder. So we're going to get ready to move into the second one, because it's very important that we see how much of a hold that white Jesus, that Silk Press Jesus has on the Black community. So let's go to this one. Apparently this next video is about the demons in the MCU. So stay tuned. I'm going to play the clip and we'll be right back.
I am now walking out of the Spider-Man movie. The Holy Spirit began to reveal to me that this movie is about astral projection. Take this back into prayer, but this is no movie to go in there and watch with children. Amen. I didn't know that what this movie was going to be about, because I love Spider-Man, but they began to take a turn with this movie. Guard your ear gates and your eye gates. Amen. I believe that God allowed me to see pieces of it, to get on social media, to utilize my platform to tell you all what is going on, because that movie is looking to claim a host. Okay, that movie is looking to transfer spirits. Do some research about it. But even in the description, it speaks about the astral projection. It speaks about the witchcraft. Honey, let me tell you something. That is demonic. It is demonic. It's demonic up in there. And if you know God, then you know exactly what I'm talking about astral projection. Because it's jumping from people to people to people in that movie. I ain't playing.
Bitch, please. You know what's demonic? Taking a fucking infant to a Spider-Man movie and fucking up the experience for everybody in there. That's what the fuck is demonic. I want you, you know what? Let's look up the term while I got you right here in real fucking time of demonic. Demonic definition. The word demonic is an adjective that means extremely evil, cruel, fiendish, or inspired and driven by a powerful wild force, as if it's possessed by a spirit. Not every fucking thing is demonic, you niggas, okay? Now, this is the thing. So, God didn't tell you to go look and see what the fuck the movie was going to be about. Because you can go Google the premise of the movie and it don't tell you the whole fucking movie. So God didn't tell you to Google the fucking plot, right? So you could have saw what the fuck what it was be about. And even if it didn't mention astral projection, right? Why is it that God allowed you? If he's such a good God, right? Why did he allow you to buy the fucking tickets and give AMC, Regal, whoever the fuck, wherever you went, the money for the tickets? Why did God allow you to buy the tickets? Why did God allow you to go to the fucking concession stand and spend money? And get your ass in the seat, and then after having you spend your money, reveal to you that you got to get the fuck up out of there. I mean, I would think that God would have revealed to you before spending your hard-earned money that according to you niggas, you was gonna give him on Sunday any fucking way, would allow you to do some stupid shit and then tell you after the fact to get the fuck up. Denzel Washington did a movie, I believe it's called Falling, with the same shit where it jumps from person to person. Bitch, it's a movie. Like somebody sat in a room and they wrote lines and a whole plot and shit, right? That's what that is. I'm so tired of you niggas overusing. Y'all use the word demonic and demon the way you use diabolical. Cut it the fuck loose. Not everything is a goddamn demon. Not everything is fucking demonic. A movie is a fucking movie. If that's the case, every horror film is fucking demonic to you people. Everything you ignorant ass motherfuckers don't understand is demonic to you. It's fucking Spider-Man, bitch. Peter motherfucking Parker, ho. God ain't tell you a motherfucking thing. Did God direct you to whip your phone out and record you walking out in real time as opposed to you just walking out and then filming a video later? I guess God told you, go ahead on. I want you to do this in real time. I want you to walk out, turn your phone on with the baby on your shoulder as you walk in, because somebody had to help you get all that shit together. Somebody had to help you holding the baby. You got the phone out. You're recording the process of how guard your ear gates and your eye gates. Girl, get the fuck out of here. Guard your mental gates, bitch. Because what the fuck? He told you to do all that. I bet you God told you to put your business down there in the fucking video and tell people to support it. Did it tell you that too? Y'all blow me with the bullshit. It's always God told you, but God ain't always. If that's the case, why God ain't told you the fucking winning numbers? Why you ain't won the motherfucking Powerball? Why is God telling you everything but the shit he need to tell you? How come God ain't told you what them 6 digits is so you can have some money in your fucking pocket? Huh? How come God ain't tell you Trump was gonna win this shit so we could have had somebody do whatever the fuck they need to do to make sure that shit didn't happen? Huh? Well, where was God there? Where was the spirit then to let you know a motherfucking demon? Did God tell you that an orange demon was gonna run this motherfucker into the goddamn ground? Did he tell you that? That's some shit. That would have been some helpful shit. But Spider-Man is demonic because the whole point of the thing, first of all, if you did research, you would know who the fuck Jean Grey is. She can control minds. It's a character. My cat is named Jean Grey, obviously because of X-Men, but also because she's great. Is she a motherfucking demon? She be cussing me out in cat language. Is it the fucking poltergeist coming? None of the shit that y'all that you do makes fucking sense. God told me this, God told me that. Now let's go to the next video. This one is gonna be, it's 2 videos. I'm gonna play the first one from her, and then we're gonna play a second one. So let's tune into this one. I'll be right back.
So as of today, I have done something that I never thought I would do. I inactivated my license and I quit my job as a therapist. And I feel so relieved, but not for the reasons that y'all think, right? The Lord revealed to me that he needs more of his believers in area of deliverance, not in the area of diagnosing. Because the thing is that, oh Lord, and hear me by the Spirit, these people do not have mental health issues. These are demonic beings that have access to their body, to their mind, to their soul. And what they are doing is they're manifesting the physical symptoms of being present with those demons. How do I know? I was a person that growing up, I was always ready to myself, like always. I don't know where, like, it came from. I don't even know how it was introduced to my life. I do not come from a family where anybody themselves. I never had any friends that themselves, but I always struggled with that. I also used to myself as well. I struggled severely from anxiety, depression, overwhelming thoughts, and it was even a time in my life where my rage would be so, like, I would be so enraged. I got angry all the time. And in my states of angry or anger, I would want to really hurt people. Like, it's not funny, but I'm literally thinking about my life, and the Lord has had my life on repeat. And I thought that I needed to go to therapy. I thought that I needed the medication. I thought that I needed this and I needed that. And because I was apart from the Lord for so many years of my life, and even when I first came into this field, I still was not saved. I just thought, you need somebody to talk to. You need somebody to help you understand what's going on, and you need somebody to make you feel comfortable. And this needs to be a safe space. There are no safe space for demons.
First of all, I am very glad that you quit being a therapist, because a crappy therapist that you are. Now, let's digest what the fuck she said, because based on everything she said, anger, depression, rage, right? Those are emotions. Those are things that people feel. So now emotions are now demonic as well. And getting help with that, so you don't need a diagnosis. I just like, none of it again is contradictory than a motherfucker, because you're saying you don't know what it was that made you feel that way, but see, you're not addressing all the issues, because there is something that made you feel that way, and by talking to a therapist, you would have known what that was. You want answers without asking the questions. The only difference between okay, so you want God, so you're saying God is God is your therapist, but then therapy is demonic, but you're literally seeking therapy in God. So which one is it? It can't be both. Either therapy is demonic or it's not. People having feelings of suicide is not demonic. That stems from depression. Depression is a real fucking thing. You think the slaves didn't have depression? It was just them being fucking demonic about their situation? Like, fuck all the way off. So you mean to tell me again, God spoke to you and told you to deactivate your license? So God didn't speak to you when you were spending that money in school to go to school and spending that fucking tuition and taking out student loans that you got to pay the fuck back? He didn't talk to you then. Why? Because you wasn't saved. So he didn't tell you what you should have known, because you wasn't saved. You got to be saved in order to hear him. But I thought he was the end all be all. He see everything. He know everything. So why you got to be committed for him to tell you some shit? Imagine going to school. This is the profession you want to be in, and all of a sudden you're going to say, God just told you to not do it because it's demonic. Again, why is God talking to y'all after the fact? Why is God? Because what you're doing is real fucking dangerous. Because you're not telling the full story, and somebody impressionable is going to see that, because somebody had to impress upon you for you to do some dumb shit like that. Because the God I believe in is not going to have me spend some fucking money to go into a profession and just be like, yeah, no, this is demonic. You're struggling with stuff that you haven't fully unpacked yet. So it's a good thing. You know what? It's a good thing you're not a therapist, because you would have been a crappy one. Because that right there is mental fucking illness. But wait, there's more. Because I told you we got her back to back. So if you thought shit was crazy, let's take a look at what has happened since she deactivated her license, and she quit working on behalf of demons.
So, approximately 20 days ago, the Lord moved me from Alabama to Dallas, Texas with no job, no friends, no family, and only $150 in my pocket. When I came to Dallas, I literally had the clothes on my back, the clothes from my closet, and cleaning supplies and an air mattress. And I've been here, like I said, 20 days, and I want to tell you guys just how things have been going. So I just want to make this disclaimer that the Lord told me I was moving to Dallas, Texas in January, and he quite literally said, the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. And I told him I'm not moving to Dallas. I was like, no, I'm cool, move me somewhere else. And he said, no, Jordan, you're moving to Dallas. So because of my disobedience, a lot of stuff ended up transpiring. But I just want to give that little disclaimer that the Lord been told me I was supposed to be in Dallas. And now that I'm here, I wish I just would have been obedient to begin with. Anyways. So in my 20 short days of being here, I truly see why God is Jehovah Jireh. Let me tell y'all something. If he's told you he's moving you somewhere, specifically if he's moving you to Dallas, Texas, start packing. Stop coming to him and being like, oh, I don't got no job, I don't got no money, I don't got this. I came up here with $150 in my pocket. I have not went hungry, I have not went thirsty, I have not been without AC, I have not been without gas in my car. He has really shown me why this tattoo is true. Jehovah Jireh, that is his name. From sending me someone to give me the exact amount I needed to get a background check for a job I applied for. I did not have the money because he sent me up here with $150. I did not have the money. Sent somebody to give me the exact amount. Or when I was in the thrift store looking for furniture, I wanted these 3 pieces for my house. I didn't have the money for it. I didn't have enough money. The lady said, baby, just pay for this one and I'll give you the rest for free. Or when I went to the grocery store, I didn't have enough money for groceries. Guess what? The lady, she sat there and she taught me how to coupon in the grocery store. The cashier found a coupon for every single thing I was about to purchase, and it knocked my total in half.
I know you motherfucking lying, bitch. I know you lying. Now let's real quick, since God told you everything and you into the Bible and shit. Leviticus 19:28 says, "Do not cut your bodies for the dead or put tattoo marks on yourselves. I am the Lord." But the tattoo there, Jehovah is Jireh. Yeah, that brings it on home. So which one is it? Because if you so fucking devout, why do you have the tattoo? And I'm pretty sure you got that tattoo after you gave up your license. Now, this is what I'm saying about shit being dangerous. About, oh, I only moved with X amount of dollars in my pocket. Because it's a lot of shit she's leaving out of this story. Now, the video is a little bit longer. She goes on to say, oh, when I had to move stuff in my apartment, there was always some guys outside. Baby, that's not God, okay? I know when we looking for a parking spot and we find a sweet one, be like, oh, that's God. Hey, you know what? Sometimes, won't he do it, won't he will, right? We may say it in jest or whatever the case may be. But it's a lot of shit you're leaving out of that story. Because notice how she don't talk about no apartment. You left with $150, but that ain't what it took to get you there. Right? You ain't talk, you got an apartment clearly. They don't take faith payments. So you had to find an apartment in Dallas before you showed up. Because you can't have $150 in your pocket and pray your way to admit when you have the application fees, the credit check, and the first and last and the security. You can't faith your way on that shit. So you had to have some money put away to be able to handle those things. Now, once everything got done, you might have had 150, but that's bullshit because she says God sent somebody to give her the exact amount. No, bitch, you called somebody and asked them for the exact amount you needed, and they fucking had it. The lady in the grocery store, we've all been to the grocery store. Them motherfuckers don't get paid enough to teach you how to coupon on the spot. You a motherfucking lie. They might have told you we got a coupon for it and told you where to go get that motherfucker or download the app. So you mean to tell me every single thing you had in your basket, there was a coupon for it? Again, you saying you only got $150 and you ain't got no job. This the longest stretch in $150 I've never seen in my motherfucking life. You went to a furniture store and she said, buy one piece and I'm gonna give you the other 2 for free. In this motherfucking economy, bitch, I don't care if you was at Goodwill. they not giving you shit. You're leaving a lot of shit out of this fucking story. And again, people will see this and will feed into it. Somebody is helping you. Now, maybe God is putting that person in your path. Yeah, but you're not going to leave here. God gave us common fucking sense, and you ain't using it. The reason why you didn't leave the first time wasn't because you wasn't being obedient, bitch. You didn't have the money, and you knew you didn't have the fucking money. Now, it's one thing to step out on faith, but you can't be stupid with it. You know, I said, hey, I'm going to leave my job at the end of the year. Now, did God have other plans? I ended up getting laid off, but that led me to being able to do this. Like I say, everything happens for a reason. But I can't just sit here. I'm still looking for work. And in between that, I'm doing all this content. You guys donate to me because you see that helps me to continue to create content. That helps my family out. And one day when I am in a position where I am working and I can be a blessing to others, whether it be a financial or otherwise, then I'm going to repay that back. Because I do want to be a blessing to others. I'm a blessing to people just talking right now. I can be a blessing to people financially one day. That is what I want to be. But there's a difference between having community and then sitting there telling you that God is telling you to do some shit that in this world doesn't make sense to do. It does not make sense for anybody. Now, if you already ain't got it, you say, hey, I'm going to really step out on faith and start this business. Yeah, but you got to be doing stuff to start the business. You got to be out there working. You got to Dallas, however you got there. You drove there, whatever. And yes, maybe things have been in your way. Hey, you hungry? But all the shit you saying ain't adding the fuck up. He sent you somebody with the exact amount you needed. Nah, bitch, you called somebody and got the exact amount you needed. That's what the fuck happened. When you was outside, there was men around to help you move your fucking furniture. All of this stuff, again, people ain't accepting faith payments. Whatever apartment you found, you might not have a job, but whatever apartment you found and you got in, I bet you used your income from the previous job, which was you as a therapist, to get up in there. Because you didn't go to them people and say, God sent me here for y'all to give me an apartment. I bet you didn't say that shit. You didn't go in their leasing office and say, well, you know what? I only got $150, but God told me I'm coming here and this is where I'm supposed to be. Cut the bullshit. It is a very dangerous game that y'all are playing because other people who want to do some shit like this without thinking it through, that's exactly what they need. And then when it don't go the way for them that they thought it went for you, that's some different shit. Just like these pastors, they live in this luxury life. Oh, this is what God did for me. If you continue to give, he'll do it for you. Well, why is it that the person you giving all this money to is the pastor is getting richer, a new car every year? Meanwhile, your fucking house is run down and torn down. When is your breakthrough coming? When are the riches coming for you? Because the money you're supposed to be giving to go to God ain't going to God, okay? They ain't converting that shit into Christ crypto. So the money, the actual USD that you're giving your pastor is going in your pastor's pocket because every year you see him with a new car. The first lady is always dressed to the nines. He has the best suits on. You're wearing the same shit every fucking Sunday. Your house is worn down. But if you keep on tithing, he's gonna put something before you. When? What's the difference between you and that pastor? You're giving all your money to God, so they're telling you. But where's your blessing? Where's your blessing? Sunday after Sunday. Every payday, you're giving your 10% plus more. Because you ain't just giving the tithes. No, you giving the anniversary. It's always an anniversary in that motherfucker. I can tell you that. It's somebody's anniversary. It's the anniversary. It's the building fund. It's all of these things. Especially at a mega church. How much more can the church need if it's a fucking mega church? Everything in that bitch is brand new. The mega church is bigger than where you fucking live. You're giving the money. Why aren't you seeing the blessing? Because that's what it's supposed to be, right? You give, you get the blessing. So you giving, but you still broke. Where's the breakthrough? You're paying for the breakthrough, but the breakthrough ain't coming. So somebody lying. It's either the pastor or God. Who's lying? Because the God I pray to, the God I serve, ain't asking me for no money because he can't spend it. But when we come to y'all and ask y'all what that shit is about, you can't say that. And then the one to say, let's see, Jane says, let's not forget the pastor that locked it, shut the doors until he got the offering he needed. Now that's exactly. I can't think what his name right now, but that shit right there. Or one of the Wayans, not Wayans, Winans, where the grandmother is given, he wanted 2,000. I guess she gave 1,100, and he went and embarrassed her in front of that church. Not only would I have cussed him out in the name of Jesus, but I'd have took my money back. Because who the fuck are you? I wish I would be in a church and they talk about closing and locking doors. I'm whooping everybody's ass. And then I'm going to take the money. Yes, Marvin Sapp. That shit right there. Lock the doors. You out your motherfucking mind. Lock the doors. Y'all not doing this on behalf of Jesus. Y'all doing it on behalf of yourselves. Because you're picking and choosing who you're acting upon and who gets blessed and who doesn't. And that ain't how this shit is working. Now, speaking of the Bible and how we said the contradictions, I want to play this clip from my favorite show of all time, which is The West Wing. So we're going to play this clip and I'll be right back.
I'm sorry. You're Dr. Jenna Jacobs, right?
Yes, sir.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
The awesome impact of the airwaves and how that translates into the furthering of our national discussions, but obviously also how it can Forgive me, Dr. Jacobs. Are you an MD?
A PhD.
A PhD?
Yes, sir.
In psychology?
No, sir.
Theology?
No.
Social work?
I have a PhD in English literature.
I'm asking because on your show, people call in for advice, and you go by the name Dr. Jacobs on your show, and I didn't know if maybe your listeners were confused by that and assumed you had advanced training in psychology, theology, or healthcare.
I don't believe they are confused, no, sir.
Good. I like your show. I like how you call homosexuality an abomination.
I don't say homosexuality is an abomination, Mr. President. The Bible does.
Yes, it does. Leviticus
18:22.
chapter and verse. I wanted to ask you a couple of questions while I had you here. I'm interested in selling my youngest daughter into slavery as sanctioned in Exodus 21:7. She's a Georgetown sophomore, speaks fluent Italian, always cleared the table when it was her turn. What would a good price for her be? While thinking about that, can I ask another? My chief of staff, Leo McGarry, insists on working on the Sabbath. Exodus 35:2 clearly says he should be put to death. Am I morally obligated to kill him myself, or is it okay to call the police? Here's one that's really important, because we've got a lot of sports fans in this town. Touching the skin of a dead pig makes one unclean, Leviticus 11:7. If they promise to wear gloves, can the Washington Redskins still play football? Can Notre Dame? Can West Point? Does the whole town really have to be together to stone my brother John for planting different crops side by side? Can I burn my mother in a small family gathering for wearing garments made from two different threads? Think about those questions, would you? One last thing. While you may be mistaking this for your monthly meeting of the Ignorant Tight-Ass Club, in this building when the president stands, nobody sits.
Now that is, again, like I said, The West Wing is my favorite show of all time, and that is one of my favorite scenes. Because nobody can read like Jed Bartlett. I'm so sorry, but that scene always sticks out to me because he is literally pointing out the contradictions of the Bible, especially now that we are in modern times. And nobody wants, that's the part that nobody wants to talk about. Because if you're, my thing is, like I said at the beginning of the show, if you're going to live it, live, walk the walk, talk the talk, do everything according to that book, exactly as it is written, if that's what you're going to do. Don't make any concessions. Don't say, oh, but no. Everything should be as it is in that book if you believe that everything in that book is correct. That is how it should be done. And that is not a sacrifice that Christians, especially Black Christians, are willing to make. Because, and we'll even go to those that you homosexuality, y'all feel such a way about homosexuality, but your choir director is gay, but you still allow him to be the choir director, knowing that he's gay. It's not hidden nowhere. That's like a lot of you pastors' wives, deaconesses, all that type of shit. You don't like homosexuality, but you'll go get your hair done by someone who's homosexual. You'll go get your clothing and your and fashion advice from someone who's homosexual. But then you will literally condemn them to their face when they're in the house of God. You take Christianity and you weaponize it. You use Christianity to be judgmental to people you don't like. But you don't like it when somebody is judgmental to you. When it comes to you, only God can judge you. But when it comes to other people, you get to judge them with the help of God. That's not how this is working. You cannot believe in the same God as your oppressor and think you're going to ever be free. You cannot believe in the same God as your oppressor and think that you will ever be free, because you won't. You're using Christianity to weaponize it towards people you don't like. That is what y'all do in the Black community. Not all, but the majority of you do. And you do, because it be you nasty ass church people. And I will never forget, my dad was in the church. He worked his way up to be a deacon. Anytime, even before my dad got into church, he didn't really get into church like that until, ironically, my mother died. When my mother was living and she tried to get him to go, he didn't go. But once my mom passed away, he got into church, and he met my stepmother. They never married, but to me, I was her daughter. That was our stepmother. She loved me as though I was her own. Though they never lived together. And my dad, he would visit anybody that was in the church that was sick, shut in, whatever. They was at the hospital, didn't matter. Home, he sit there, he'd visit them for hours at whatever. My dad had a stroke. And my stepmom, she's since passed away. I'm working full time. She took him in to be able to help him because I wasn't there. I wouldn't be able to be there around the clock the way that he needed, because I had to work. So she took him for a few months to help him rehabilitate. Not only did these church people, mind you, the church is literally in walking distance of her house. Not only did these people not come to visit him, but they started gossiping around the church because he was there and they weren't married. My father was suffering from a stroke. Cannot talk, cannot walk, cannot do things for himself. And y'all worried about the fact that they're not married? Meanwhile, y'all got all type of other shit going on. Y'all weaponize church and the Bible to be judgmental to people you don't like. The apartment building I stayed in before I got married, y'all know I moved from Miami to North Carolina. I stayed in my apartment building for about 11 years. It was run by my church, right? They wanted me out of there, not the pastor that took over, But the other people there, you know why? And it was a whole battle because I didn't tell my business, because I didn't talk to people. I stayed in my house. I worked from home. I minded my business. If I was outside, I'd say hello. That was it. I never bothered anybody. In 11 years, I never had problems. I couldn't tell you who my neighbors are, like names, birthdays, anything like that, but I said hello. But because I didn't tell my business, I was uppity. I'm a uppity nigga. They don't like you because you're not. This is what I'm talking about. But these are church people. And when I did get the apartment, which was shortly after my dad died, I got the apartment, and one of the deacons said to me shortly thereafter, "Oh, you stopped coming to church when you got the apartment." Sir, I wasn't going to church when I did get the apartment. It's things like that. But y'all supposed to be church folk. Y'all supposed to be nice. But this is the type of stuff that people do. This is the type of stuff the black church does. I'm not saying white churches don't do it, but listen, I'm black. I ain't in white folks' business. I don't give a fuck what they do over there. I'm talking about what the fuck we doing here. And a lot of y'all are real nasty. A lot of y'all will get on the phone and be talking about other people's kids, but don't want to talk about yours. You want to get on the phone and talk about who cheating on who. Meanwhile, your husband running around with anything with a motherfucking pulse, male or female. You don't want to talk about that, but you quick to talk about somebody else's shit. You quick to judge somebody else. Big Rocky says, I found out that most demons are in the church. Exactly. Because let's talk about the pastors. Let's talk about the demons that was Eddie Long. I bet you if his ass went and got some therapy, he wouldn't have hurt other fucking people. What about his demons? It's funny how people who are in the church can have demons. But then you want to choose what is demonic about everybody else. The same people that will go in church will tell you to stay with a man that's beating your ass because that's what the Bible says. You got me real fucked up. You're the reason why it is complacency within the black community, because all y'all do is, I'm praying for this, or this is coming. Then we just got to keep waiting, keep waiting, keep waiting. That's why the fuck we are where we are right now, because you niggas are still waiting. You're not working, but you waiting. Oh, he's coming back. Okay, and when he come back, what the fuck is gonna happen? When Jesus comes back and see what you niggas are doing, what the fuck is gonna happen? Even when he come back, he got to decide who coming and who going. So why not live on this earth and really live, instead of spending your time judging people, trying to get people to think like you and do what you want them to do, but you're not following the same rules that you're setting forth and pressing upon other people, and you're using religion to do it. You're using religion to be nasty. You're using religion to be hateful. You're using religion to be fucking bigots. You'll use religion to say you hate gay people, but I thought God loved everybody. According to y'all, according to the book, God loved everybody. God didn't make no mistakes. So if God loves everybody and God didn't make any mistakes, then explain how homosexuality is an abomination. You can't. Because you pick and choose what you want it to mean. And that's why I say it is subjective. Religion means to you, your faith is your faith. It means to you what you want it to mean to you. And it means what it wants to mean to somebody. I have seen people who are homosexual or trans have more faith and compassion of a true Christian than you motherfuckers that claim to be one. You're so sanctimonious, you'll get on here and tell me that God don't want me to say what I'm saying the way that I'm saying it. Why? Who the fuck told you that? You know why it's uncomfortable for you to hear me talk how I talk? Because it make white folks uncomfortable. And that's where this shit goes from. White people gave y'all white Christianity. And y'all need to let it the fuck go. We are never gonna be as big as we need to be as a community if y'all still holding on to that bullshit. I'm not saying don't have faith. I have faith. But stop putting your faith in a motherfucker that don't look like you. Stop putting your faith You can't have the same faith as your oppressor and expect to be free. Can't happen. Won't happen. Now I want to end it by saying I want to play this last clip, which kind of wraps up what I was saying, and I'll be right back.
A lot of black people suffer from religious psychosis, but we don't talk about it enough. During slavery, our ancestors were powerless. They couldn't vote, they couldn't own anything, they couldn't fight back without being unalive. When people are that powerless, the mind looks for somewhere to place hope. So we were given religion. This is a belief that says, be obedient, suffer quietly. Your reward will come later in heaven after you pass away. I understand something. For a person who had no power, believing in God would eventually fix things, might have helped them survive mentally. But the problem is, now in modern times, our people respond to problems the same way. You got bad habits, God gonna fix it. No discipline, God gonna fix it. The devil trying to test me. The demons in spirit jumped into this person and into that person. Every situation turns into prayer or blame on a mythical entity instead of personal responsibility and accountability, right? Listen, believe what you want to believe, right? That's your business. But if your belief system got you waiting instead of working, praying instead of planning, hoping instead of building, then it's not empowering you. It's pacifying you. And at some point, we got to stop saying, God gonna make a way, and start saying, I'm gonna make a way.
Exactly. And I thought that was fitting to kind of tie this up, because that's exactly how I see it. It's not, it's we use it to pacify ourselves. And not, and that's how we, just like he said, God is going to fix this, God is going to fix that, but you have to do something too. And if you want to better yourself and you want to go to school, God may make a way for you to get to school, meaning you may be able to apply for scholarships, and he'll put that in your purview where you can apply for scholarships and make a way for you to get to school. But once you get there, you have to do the work. God ain't gonna take the test for you. God not gonna pass the class for you. You have to do that. Your faith may help get you there. Your faith may put you in a position to meet somebody from a school to help you get in there. You meet somebody. Hey, I believe God puts people in our lives for reasons. Some is for a little bit, and sometimes it's permanent. But there are people put in your life to help you get from one thing to the next. But you still have to do the work. God ain't going to do it for you. God will give you an opportunity, and it is up to you to then see that opportunity through. Y'all won't even do that. You will sit there. You can't sit there and be like, okay, I'm not going to pay my light bill because I know God going to pay it. It don't work like that. You might have some of the money, and you might call somebody and they got the rest of the money. Or you may come online and say, hey, y'all, I got this going on and I need a little help. And he may put it on somebody else to bless you with what you need to get you through it. That's the blessing. That's the help. But you had to have some of it. He could put you in a reason where he say, hey, I need to pay my rent. He might bless you with an opportunity that is a job, but you still got to show up to the job. Or give you an interview. You still got to get through the interview. Having faith doesn't mean that God is going to do every single thing for you and you don't have to do anything else. And that's how a lot of y'all feel, and you fall back on it. I think what we do is because with religion, with white Christianity, it's always you repent and then you're forgiven, and you fall back on that. I can do something so fucked up. That's what goes on in the black community. While a lot of people in the black community think that they could do shit, and time will heal the wound. Oh, well, I did this to you, but I repented. God gave me. So why won't you? That's exactly what it is. God forgives, so I don't fucking have to. God can forgive you. I don't have to. That's why y'all feel so comfortable fucking people over and over again, because all you have to do is repent. That's why these white people don't take no responsibility for the shit they do, because their Christianity allows them to just repent and they could do it all over again. They could sexually assault children because they just got to repent for their sins and they get a clean slate to do it the fuck over again. Same shit in the black community. Y'all use that Christianity as a means to do what you want to do to people, then repent and then act like everybody should just forgive you being nasty, you being whatever the fuck you're doing. Because if God forgave me, why won't you? He forgives, so we don't have to. And that's why I'm gonna end it today. I want to thank everybody for joining me today on the chat. Everybody in the chat, everybody out there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. I am working on a lot of stuff. I will be recording a new episode of Bitch Happens podcast. So that's gonna be out next week. So I can't wait to get that out. I got some other stuff coming out as well. Some new segments that I'm working on. So a lot of stuff, new merch, everything like that. I also want to tell you guys, thank you again. I am at 60%, 68% of my goal. I have raised $3,395 of my $5,000 goal. So I want to thank every single person that has donated. And if you would like to help me reach my goal, you can donate to my GoFundMe, which is gofundme.com/help-knickknack. And I'm going to put that in the chat. So again, thank you to everybody that has donated, whether it be through my GoFundMe, PayPal, Cash App, all those things. Thank you to everyone that has shared my content. A lot of my stuff is going viral, so thank you guys. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at bitch_happens and a knickknack production. Let me see if I can get that up for you guys real quick and put that in the chat as well. So I'm going to put that in the chat. So that's my Instagram. My main one is bitch_happens. And my new Instagram is a knickknack production. So I want you guys to go over and follow me there as well. That's where I'm going to have all content for knickknack production. So again, you guys can donate to my GoFundMe. You can also go to stream.knickknackproduction.com. And there is a donate button in the upper left-hand corner that will take you to a secure site, and you can donate via PayPal. Even if you don't have a PayPal account, you can put in your debit or credit. Again, it is a secured site, so everything is safe over there if you would like to donate to me there as well. As you know, Court of No Appeals, we started a little bit late today. Hubby just got off the road, so I wanted to make sure that, we had dinner together. So that's why I had to start late, because that was important. But I'm here every Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can watch online on my network, stream.knickknackproduction.com, or you can watch it on my YouTube channel, which is a Knickknack Production. Please make sure you go to my YouTube right now, set your alerts, subscribe to the channel. My last YouTube, I had 11,000 subscribers. So I only got 800 now, and I can do better. I know I can do better. So if you guys could please go over there and subscribe, share my channel, get other people to subscribe, get the watch hours up. I would greatly appreciate that so much. So again, I will see you guys next week, Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here, same time, same place. Have a good weekend. I will see you guys on FTP podcast. That's Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. That's our 2-hour show. That's me, Chris, Trey, and Liv. So if I don't see you on Sunday, then I will see you guys here for Court of No Appeals next week. Have a great weekend, and I love you guys.
Knick-knack, paddywhack, Dade County, bitches back. I'm raw, uncut, and bitch, I'm black as fuck. Sharpshooter with the truth, you crackers better duck. So cutthroat, wordplay on razor. Stay prepaid, straight talk, no chaser. Get on the mic and I do what I do. Don't like what I say, bitch, fuck you. I am my ancestors, let freedom ring. Honkies pull up, let the chopper sing. Might tell you a joke, but I never tell a lie. Fuck up
love doesn't always happen the way we expect. Sometimes it arrives after the lessons, after the healing, and after you've finally learned your worth. This summer, join the Harvins on Partners in Petty, a podcast about finding love at the right time, building a strong partnership, and sharing life with your best friend. Join the Harvins each week for candid conversations, plenty of laughs, and the everyday moments that make a partnership work. Real love, real life, real talk. Partners in Petty, all in, every day, all about us. Coming summer 2026.